I do this shit for the love of the game. Ass jerky don't make itself. Sorry. It's showtime.
As you can see, I'm from another different angle as I pretend to ignore the fact that I was just muted. Welcome to Tgan Live, episode 13. As you can see, I'm from another different angle. But I moved the computer over to a different wall after I got rid of my couch. So I'm trying another different angle. And I like the other one, and this one's a similar kind of thing, just from a different way. Plus, I can keep the window open. My balcony is just right there, and I can open it and use the natural light. There may be a little background noise coming from, because I live downtown, so there's lots of cars and stuff driving around, people blowing horns at each other, crackheads running through the alleys yelling at each other. So all that fun stuff could be happening. But today's topics. A brand new Street Fighter trailer just came out, which I'm still working on a video for. Like and subscribe for that. But just a couple days ago, they dropped the first full trailer of the Street Fighter movie, and it looks pretty awesome. We're going to take a gander at that. And just before I went live, I looked around for some more info, and apparently they dropped some new footage. They dropped the first footage ever of the new Resident Evil movie at CinemaCon. Unfortunately, I can't seem to find that actual footage anywhere. I guess maybe it was only for whoever was in the audience, and I couldn't even find any versions that someone just recorded secretly while they were there. Maybe they made everyone take their phones, because that's the thing they definitely do at these events. They don't want any footage to leak, then they'll take your phones. I've gone to movie previews where they'll literally take your phone and put it in a little bag, and after the movie they'll give it to you. So we're going to take a look at that. All I can find are reactions to that video, so the best that we can get out of it is seeing someone talk about it. So you won't actually be able to see the real footage of that. Also in the news, there has been some recent news about the Bloodborne animated movie, so we're going to talk about that as well. So if you're new in the chat, like and subscribe. Tell me what new game you're playing right now. I was playing Replaced earlier this week. Pretty cool game. I played some Replaced. Cool game, but then my Game Pass expired. I always gotta make sure my stream sounds okay. But my Game Pass has expired, and I decided not to re-up it. Sometimes I just don't have it because I have such a big backlog. I can just play that anyways, but I would love people to tell me what they think of my new angle. You can see my cat litter box in the background. I need more stuff to put behind me. You can see a bit of my TV. Well, that's my computer. I was trying to figure out what that little thing on the edge was. It's part of my PC. Well, anywho's. First topic. The Street Fighter. The new Street Fighter trailer looks pretty fire. I've already watched it a million times myself because I'm still working on it footage. I'm still working on editing a breakdown of that. And even just a 2.5-minute trailer breakdown piece by piece takes a while to edit. But I should have had this lined up and ready to go. They recorded a little thing. I didn't know they... Who are all these people? Oh, there's Raina. She's my new crush right there. The Anderson. He's like giving you the middle finger. Yeah. They're just 50. That's the first time I've seen 50 do any promotion for this. And then the Ryo guy's just like, fuck you. Yeah, I have a little crush on this Raina Vallandigham girl. Like, she's just such an impressive individual. Oh, in the background it says Street Fighter 2. That's interesting. So maybe they were playing it. But I'm digging. I find it hilarious that the Ryo actor is just dead serious. Like, don't even talk to me. Maybe he's in a bad mood. There's the guy who plays Dalsum, though. His hair, oh man, 50 is so black I can't even see his face. Sorry if that's racist, but look at him. You can see his fucking teeth. But this is funny. The Ryu guy is like dead serious, so I don't know if he's like in character or something. They're clearly not. But Ryu's just like, just play the fucking trailer. Andrew Santina's like double unicorn, giving you the middle fingers. That's funny. How come Cody's the only one that still has the hair, and I didn't. It just happened. But here's a full trailer that I've already watched a zillion times. But let's take a look at it if you haven't seen it yet.
Street Fighter. But only one of which will be crowned the world champion of Street Fighter! You win! Perfect.
You're not a warrior anymore, you're a sideshow.
Shut up MTV, I'm Ken Massey.
This is your shot at redemption.
Will you give a show?
Maybe it's Ken's turn to be champion.
How did you find me?
I'm paid to find champions. Even if they're lost.
Good to see you, old friend. Still reckless. Sit down. This tournament is not what it seems. We have to be ready.
Everyone keeps going on about your thighs. What is with McDavid?
fireball came out of Ryu.
Hadouken! Yeah, tell me that doesn't look sick. Come on, give me a break. That looks really good. I mean, there's a corniness to it. There's a corniness to it, but fuck, my cat makes me sneeze. Whoa, Noble Bull, my hero. Thank you again. Thank you for being here, as always. Talking about the new Street Fighter trailer for the movie. If you've seen it, let me know what you think. Now I have to go get tissues because my cat made me a little allergic. So yeah, I had to blow my nose, and I probably didn't mute myself. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, I think it looks good. I'm like, I have hopes for it. I mean, you got that and Mortal Kombat coming out in the same year, so like two of the biggest fighting games, period. But take another gander at the trailer. What do we got? I don't know. I'm just gonna break it down, I guess. So I'm already doing that right now in another video. But I need something to pad out my shows. I want to do a solid 2 hours. So that's got to be Balrog's boot. Balrog's a boxer. I mean, I pretty much had the whole movie figured out already, like just by guessing. But it seems pretty standard. Ken becomes a champion fighter by what looks like beating El Fuerte, a Mexican wrestler from the games. But then Balrog beats him in an embarrassing loss, which I guess somehow makes him lose, which somehow ruins his life. I feel like Ken just lets it ruin his life when it doesn't need to. Fuck. So you can see Ken approaching the stage, and I don't know if this is the fight that he loses, but this is also giving me hardcore Bloodsport vibes. You can see Douchey Dan in the background right there. The Douchemeister. I don't think this is I'm not sure if this is the fight, but you can see that he's wearing his red gi, and he doesn't wear that like all the time in the trailer. So like he only wears it, and when he's wearing it, it's when he loses to Balrog. So then it's like he wears it all the time now after that loss. This is Dawson somewhere, and yeah, in the trailer you can see that Chun-Li she must be working undercover with Bison, which is going around the world and handing out invitations to the World Warrior fight. An interesting Easter egg that they put in was that this is World Warrior 2, and it takes place in '93, but the first one took place in 1987, which is when the first Street Fighter game came out, and it didn't make a whole lot of noise. Also, speaking of noise, Street Fighter 5, right? I don't know. I don't play 5, but I noticed that I noticed how in the movie he was wearing the red gi that he always wears in the games when he loses to Balrog. As it seems like what happens is Balrog beats him, and then Balrog becomes the new champion, and Ken's life goes down the drain, or something like that. Yeah, I wouldn't know Street Fighter 5. But hey, why not just look it up? Ken Street Fighter 5. I didn't realize 5 was released that long ago, because 6 only came out somewhat recently. Also, you can hear the Tupac song, Ambitions as a Rider, but it was like the version that he made. He made a special version of the song, Ambitions of a Fighter, for Mr. Mike Tyson after his comeback match after getting out of jail. So we see Dalsum looking just like Dalsum. I mean, they're definitely going for an exact one-to-one look of the characters from the games. Just like Mortal Kombat, they're like mixing and matching the styles they want to take, but they all look pretty similar to the original legendary Street Fighter 2. Yeah, so here you see Chun-Li passing out these like handwritten invitations that are coming in some special box. So Dalsum's probably here meditating or something. You can see from the angle he's probably sitting down or whatever. And Chun-Li's literally just like flying around the world handing out these invitations. But we know that she works for Interpol, so she must be working undercover with Bison. Dalsum still needs the eyes white out. Yeah, well, I guess they're not going to go for that. And you got Cody Banks. Cody Banks? What's his name? Cody something. He's a wrestler. I don't know the wrestler guys, but Cody something. Playing Guile. He looks like a pretty good choice for Guile. Though in the trailer, I'm noticing that some people seem to have their powers from the games and some don't. Like, it looks like the way they're portraying Guile, he doesn't have his, like, Sonic Boom move. But he does have his, like, leg flip move. But it kind of just looks like he's doing it on his own and not with any special powers. But yeah, the wire work still looks a little bit floatier than I would like. But seems like they're pretty obviously not going for a completely grounded version of the movie here. Cammy. I don't know, those tattoos, those are real. They look kind of bad. Unless it's just kind of like her leggings that she's like, has those things on it. But I don't know. Cammy, I'm not sure what she's doing because reading about the lore, Cammy apparently was like originally a clone that Bison made. But then she kind of like turned sides to the good side. So I don't know if this is the good version of the bad version. Maybe she's good and she's working undercover with Bison too, but probably not. Maybe she switches sides near the end of the movie. Then you got Balrog. So this is probably post-beating Ken Balrog. So now he's huge and famous. Drinking out of a, looks like a pretty expensive bottle of alcohol. This is just like from the very, very first trailer they showed in the Game Awards in December. Can you hear outside? Like, is it too loud? Do I need to close my balcony door? But that picture, this one still kind of confuses me because, like, when he's walking, it almost looks like there's people inside these, like, glass cages or something. Probably just imagining that. Vega, played by that country singer. What's his name? Orville something? Orville Peck or something? It's a cool name, actually. Orville's a cool name. I like that name. Orville. I think it's Orville Peck. I know his first name is Orville. Orville Redenbacher. But I like that name. It looks like he has a bit of a gut. Lose some weight, Vega. What the hell's wrong with you? So he's got his big old blades. Someone's fighting behind him. It's like there's a big old fight that happens in this club, and I'm so fascinated by, okay, why is there a giant fight in a club? Is this like when all the World Warriors finally come to where the actual tournament is? We got 6 people watching. If you're new here, tell me who you are. Noble's always saying shit. So, Noble, you're awesome for always being here. But whoever else is here and you're new, say something. I want to know who you are. Say something. Say the goddamn words. Sorry, I'm weird. We see Joe, and Joe looks like an idiot. I mean, Joe was apparently from the very, very first game, 1987 game, but he sucks so much they didn't put him in any of the newer games. But why is he even in this? There's just too many people in this game. Like, why do we care about this guy? He's probably going to be in it for all of 5 minutes. There's Eric Andre playing Don Savage, the hype man. There's douchebag Schultz in the background playing Dan. Another character, Dan and Joe. Why are they here? Completely useless. Ken's getting ready for the big fight. This definitely is giving me some Bloodsport vibes, but like even with the underground style to it. So here looks like the part where Ken gets famous. He has this big fight, does his like double leg kick, and the actor who plays Ken, Andrew Santino, I don't know if he had any training for martial arts before the movie, but he looks like he's pretty dang good at it. And he's gotten really good shape, so good for him. So this looks like the match that helps him become the biggest fighter in the world, whatever that is, UFC, I don't know, MMA. Is there a different word for it? Maybe the World Warner Tournament is kind of like their version of the MMA or UFC, mixed martial arts. So here he is. Whoa! You can see someone with the El Fuerte mask in the background. So then he becomes a huge star. Also, yeah, again, don't forget this is in the 90s, so all the current tech that people have in movies aren't going to be there. Then immediately they skip to the fact that Ken is kind of a joke now. Even Chun-Li himself is like, yeah, you're kind of a joke. You're a sideshow. See, that's rude. So this is like, I don't know how long after that win, a year or two. He's like milking the fact that he's famous. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm allergic to my cat. But I don't want to keep taking pills for it. So I just deal with the sneezing. I took pills when I first got her, but I just didn't like the idea that I had to take pills all day, like allergy pills, just to like live with my own cat. So, but you can see he's even wearing like a necklace with his name on it. It looks like a starfish. I guess Ken's from California. I don't really know, but like this robe is kind of has like a sea theme to it. So perhaps California. I don't know where Ken's from. But this is funny too, the MTV thing. Like, I mean, I grew up in Canada, so we have much music, but it's basically the same thing. What does this shirt say? I never noticed it. Slush. Shirt says something, but I can't read it. I'm Ken Masters. Wearing the white shades. This is hilarious. If you wear white shades, you're automatically a douche, apparently. But yeah, also this moment, clear directly from the games. Even the style of the car is similar. He's kicking it with his foot. So he must have a pretty damn strong foot to be kicking in a car with his bare foot. But you can also see the numbers is exactly like the games. Fuck. Boom. So is this some kind of hyper thing he does before or after the match? But you can see, I don't know, that doesn't look like his face on these signs. But here he is at a party. This is probably what he does most of the time now, just party.
This was your shot at redemption.
I mean, they're straight up just saying it there in the trailer. This is your shot at redemption. Like the first part of this trailer is like basically Ken's entire story. He gets huge as a fighter and then loses to Balrog, and then his life goes to poo after that. So there's that match we were seeing him get hyped up for, and yeah, Balrog beats his ass. I guess maybe Ken was too cocky. I wouldn't. This probably wasn't his comeback fight. This was the fight where he lost, and then his life went to poo. Yeah, you can see Chun-Li in the background. So Chun-Li is there. This is like the dojo, the big arena they seem to have most of the fights in. There's Don Savage, though. He looks composited really off. Like I don't know. I mean, there's definitely some over CGI of movies now where it's just like they even make the crowd CGI instead of just hiring all the extras. Well, I don't see Bison anywhere. So Chun-Li's there, and you can see she's wearing her Chun-Li outfit. But yeah, this is where Ken loses, and then his life goes down the diarrhea. Very dusty. Why is the match so dusty? That seems like a bad idea. You're trying to like fight someone and you're breathing in. 7 people watching. Come on. If you're new here, say what's up. If I could get to 10 people just watching, that would be great. I don't know. He looks pretty old. Pretty damn bang on Balrog though for 50. I mean, he does look pretty old. Like in real life, 50's probably in his 50s by now. 50's 50. I wonder what 50's 50th birthday was like. Fitty. Congrats, Fitty. You're Fitty. You're actually literally a 50 cent now. When you get 75, is it going to be 75 cents? I'm weird. Whoa, the rain's going backwards. Ryu has so much power, he can make rain go up instead of down. Ryu can defy the laws of water physics. That's pretty cool. But yeah, Ryu and Ken have a history, obviously, as just like in the games, but they're not the bestest of friends at this moment. So they got to reunite for the sake of this tournament. The conspiracy that brings them there, they haven't clarified yet. Obviously, something to do with Bison. Bison. But yeah, you can see Ryu is smashing the shit out of Ken's head into a brick wall. So at least I think that's Ken. But I'm like, damn, that's a pretty hardcore fight. And then this little moment where Ken's like somersault back throw that he does looks a little silly. But I don't know, the wire work looks a little floaty, but maybe they're just going for that whole crouching tiger, hidden dragon, so it's not realistic. But Ryu looks like he's gotten homeless, or he just sits in his dojo. Maybe he's a trainer now. I don't know. And Chun-Li is basically proving a point. You're washed up too. You didn't even like block my kick. My big ass kick.
Maybe it's Ken's turn to be champion.
Yeah, so she's trying to get them both to go to the tournament. But she's telling Ryu exactly what's happening. She probably tells him that she is undercover and he needs to get involved in this tournament. But if you can see right here, it's kind of hard to see, but this tournament rare is of 1987. So the first 1987 tournament, which was when the very first Street Fighter game came out, they were besties, as you can see.
Yeah.
I guess she kicked him so hard he gave him a bloody forehead. That's pretty rude. Now we have 4 non-blondes, which is a weird choice. What's up? A very non-action-y type song, but it still kinds of work. Still kinds of works. This part, I don't know what's happening. Like there's some type of riot happening, and they're in some Chinese place. Maybe they're in an Asian city. Maybe in Japan. But what is happening here with the rioting and some guy throwing a barrel at someone. No clue what that's about. It was probably the most confusing part of the trailer. Like maybe wherever this fight is happening, this tournament, there's civil unrest.
How did you find me?
How did you find me? So Ryu is like a loner. Whatever happened for his life or career to go down the tubes, we don't know. But we see that Ken lost a match and he let it ruin his life, and now here we see Ryu. But what is it that made his life get ruined? Or maybe he just decided he doesn't want to be part of society anymore. This is Chun-Li looking to find Zangief to offer him an invitation to the World Warrior. And we get that shot we saw before. This guy is absolutely massive. He's like over 7 feet. He's huge. I forget his name. Vasily. It's funny that he's smoking too. But Chun-Li's even dressed like she's in like Russian. So I guess she's in Russia, passing out invitations to the World Warrior tournament. If you're new to the chat, say what's up. So yeah, Ken's washed up at this point. There's lots of purple, lot of purple in these trailers. I'm not sure if I get the connection to purple and the games. If that's just a color image they decided to use. Chun-Li has a tattoo on her arm. I never noticed that before. There's like a tattoo or something, or it actually looks like not a tattoo, but those things where they burn a thing into your arm. That almost could be like signifies that a thing that she had to get to be part of Bison's crew. Or maybe Chun-Li has a tattoo. I don't know. But she's flying around everywhere, passing out. And they see more purple. Like the purple is everywhere, and I just don't. And it also looks like the same alley that her and Ken and Ryu have a fight in. But here he is singing karaoke to probably nobody, just getting drunk by himself. Maybe he has his own karaoke bar. Ken's karaoke bar. I'm guessing right now he has his own bar, and he's here singing in it, and no one's there. Yeah, spoilers by the way. If you don't want to know any story spoilers, because I'm pretty sure I'm pretty accurate, not to be cocky, but the story is pretty simple and basic. So yeah, I forgot to say spoilers. Boop. A smelly big hill. 1993. So this is the last tournament was 87. Now here we are in 93. So wherever this is taking place, the city looks pretty haggard and beat up. But I guess it's an Asian city, China or Japan. Yeah, so Ryu finds Ken, and that giant banner looks like it's probably on the hotel or something that everyone in the tournament is staying in. So Ryu finds Ken, and it isn't the nice, sweet reunion that maybe Ryu was hoping it would be. It's probably kind of funny. He's just like, wow. But why is he so mad at him? I'm like, whatever caused their falling out, Ken's clearly not over it. Ow. But it looks like a pretty intense kick on his part, and then he falls really hard. Like, that's a pretty crazy-ass stunt, to be honest. And I'm wondering if that's actually Santino. I mean, he's a young dude, so he can probably handle getting beat around a little bit. But I'm kind of impressed with this shot, with how vicious the kick is, but then he lands so hard on that table. Bam! I kind of wish that they had used a different line here. He says still reckless. I just think it would have been way funnier if he said still mad over whatever happened. Or you're still mad, I see. I just thought that would be a funnier line to use. But reckless, yeah, that's pretty obvious that that's what Ken is, the reckless. The recklessness is probably what ruined his career.
Still reckless.
Still reckless. But this part's funny because like Ryu is just kind of half-assedly getting out of the way, but you can see that he's always been a better fighter than Ken. At least in my mind, he always was. But yeah, I'm really impressed with Santino's martial arts. I'd like to believe that he doesn't have any training, because I like it when like Keanu Reeves in Matrix or something, where they have zero training, but they do such a good job at it that in the movie they're like, wow. So I'm impressed with Santino, and I don't know if he has pre-training or not. I think this guy does. Like, relax, dude, chill out. Come on, I'm just here to talk. I'm just trying to talk. Yeah, this is the funniest part here, because he's just like, even half-ass Ryu's barely trying, he's still a better fighter than Ken. He just like grabs his foot, rips his sock off, and flips him onto the chair. I just find that funny. Yeah, so whatever city this tournament's taking in, it doesn't look very good. I think Bison's probably like a dictator and took it over and destroyed it, which is, you know, a new thing nowadays. The world's being taken over by dictators. Whatever this big smoky thing is, though, I don't know. There's like some weird, like, this is what Bison wants to do to take over the world somehow. There's like some funnel cloud coming down, and the city itself looks a little Blade Runner-y. I mean, if it's cyberpunk inspired at all, then it's inspired by Blade Runner by default. Then we see Bison walking out into the arena, but the arena looks empty. Ken here looking massively douchey, like, yeah, I still got it, right? Right? And he's kind of almost, looks like he's just kind of telling himself, yeah, this is I'm still the man, right? I think so. Yeah. Ryo cleans himself up. I don't know who this is. Maybe it's Reina, but I don't know. The hair is really long, and Chun-Li's hair is always up, so I don't know if it's her. There's no other female that has black hair in it besides Chun-Li and Reina, who plays Julie. The party again at this purple club party thingy. This chick's hanging from her hair. That's crazy. Dulcim. Doing his Dulcim thing. Wah. Here's the part here where it looks like Guile just uses his like own strength to flip himself up Vega and push him into the wall. But it does look very floaty, for sure. I don't hear what she's saying here. Everyone keeps whatting about her wedding. Going on about your flies? I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of nice right there. That little rump. So again with the circular, I mean, is this at the top of that arena, that big circular entrance? It's like the circle and people being right in the center of it is like some kind of theme. Well, there she is. There's my my new it girl right now, Reina Valling. She's like an insanely talented fighter. Look her up if you want to see her going insane with how fast she is. And she's like only 22 years old. She's so young, and she's already like a world champion taekwondo fighter. She's just really impressive to watch. Even though, like, you know, she's just doing sparring stuff, so you're not going to see her in an actual real fight, but she's just so fast and just so stinkingly hot. Not stinking in a gross way, though. So she's definitely one of the few actors who actually have martial arts training. And I could see them being like, yeah, Reina, can you slow down a little? You're too fast for us. I don't see what the big deal is. Is that what she's saying? I think, yeah, Cammy and Chun-Li obviously are going to be at odds. I think Cammy probably thinks that, or is suspicious of Chun-Li. And although she's saying, I don't see what the big deal is, I don't think she's actually saying that line right there. It looks like they're just like overdubbed it. But Cammy is likely immediately suspicious of Chun-Li. Then another scene where in the background it reminds me a lot of Blade Runner, like these pillars and the design and the light coming in. But in this scene, Chun-Li looks to be fighting Vega and Julie. So I don't know if it's a 2-on-2 unfair kind of fight thing, but I mean Vega looks like Vega is kind of like Bison's bodyguard. Vega and Julie and whatever. So here she is fighting Julie, and it looks like the same area. She has this kind of insane leg drop kick. I was like, damn. I wonder how much of fighting training that she got. Her hair looks short though. I don't know. Is that Chun-Li? Yeah. I think it's Chun-Li. I mean, not actually the actress. There's probably a stunt double, but yeah, whoever they are, their arms look bigger than the actual Chun-Li. If that is in fact her. Bitch, please. Yeah. So, women calling women bitches in movies is really played out. 1:17. So I'm doing pretty good. Almost an hour in, and I'm still on my first topic. Woo! Here's, I don't know why Dan's right behind him, but this could be during the fight where he loses, and Dan's like, he might lose. If he loses, then I'm a loser. Although I'm already a loser with my stupid hair and my stupid mustache. There's a lot of people wearing just plain white. Like Ken's wearing an all-white suit, Dan's wearing an all-white suit. But then Ryu, in this picture, he's wearing the red suit, so I don't know what's the different colors of the suit. Why would Ryu wear the red suit? He's always worn the white one. This part cracks me up because Zangief is doing his crazy... actually, he doesn't do the spin part where he does the drill body slam like in the games. But it's funny because like, you can see Ken's face is like, oh, shit. How exactly is he going to land, though? Like, is he going to land on their head? Because that would probably hurt both of them. Then we see Ryu doing his hurricane kick, but it's another move where it looks like they're just showing that he can do it without using special powers. Like, he can spin around and kick someone in the face, and it isn't a special move. It's just a thing he can do. Then we got E Honda. I mean, I'm sure a lot of these characters are just going to be in it for the one fight, and then that's it. There's just way too many characters. But can this E Honda do his multi-slap thing? His thing. I don't know. Should I be breaking it down like this when I'm doing the exact same thing already? But that other breakdown that I'm still editing is obviously going to be way deeper. But here they are in this jail. Oh, he's wearing a red geese or suit, so I guess Ryu was in jail and he was wearing those red jail outfit. But I have a feeling that he was intentionally put in jail and not actually really in jail. Boom. That's kind of funny. Ryu there kind of looks like he did in that little short we just watched where everyone was excited and he's just like, ugh. But I mean, look, Guile looking very Guile for sure. There's definitely some cheese in this that I wasn't expecting. I actually thought they were going to go more serious, just like Mortal Kombat, but they're going all in on the cheese. But it's not going to be like the 94 Van Damme cheese, where you had a French guy playing an American. Like here you can see Chun-Li doing her 1,000 leg kick thing, but she's just doing it. She's not doing it in a special superpower way. I guess Vega only has one blade on his hands. He doesn't have double-bladed hands. I don't know why. And here's Vega and Dalsum having a fight. Vega very backflippy. That's probably I don't understand what's happening. It looks like Bison's having an orgasm. Like I don't know what else to say, what else to call it. But yeah, this is the most miscasting of the entire movie. Like I like the actor David, whatever, but him as Bison just does not work. He's way too small. He has a small frame. Like even the suit he's wearing, it looks like it's padded out, but still he looks like he's too small. Bison is massive in the game, so why did they not have a massive Bison? Just like in the '94 movie with Raul Julia, though in all fairness, he was literally dying from cancer while we shot that, so he was skinny from being sick. But I don't know why they couldn't make him look bigger or pick a bigger actor, because, I mean, I'm going to hold out hope because he's a good actor, but how are they going to portray this guy? Like, is he even going to really fight that much? Like, they show him doing something once, but how much in the movie is he actually going to fight? We see Akuma, Roman Reigns as Akuma. So yeah, they're clearly using the special fireball powers, but is it going to be selective of like who can do it? He even has the giant ball necklace. And he's using it on Ryu. Wada! So they're in an arena, but no one's there watching. It's just them fighting. It makes me curious about how the tournament actually works, and if like they're essentially given a round with someone like Ryu and Akuma are set to fight, and does the fight just kind of happen wherever? Like, why is that fight happening in an empty arena? Is it almost like, well, when you first run into them, that's when your fight starts. If you run into someone on the street, that's where you fight. I mean, it is called Street Fighter. But then some of the fights take places in arenas too, so... Oh, here you got Balrog just saying, yeah, I don't do that shit. I don't do the abracadabra shit. I just punch motherfuckers in the head. I have a feeling that Vega doesn't even talk. I don't know. I kind of getting the vibes that I don't think Vega talks. Maybe he does in the games, but... Web Dave? Holy shit. Whoa, Web Dave. So awesome to see you in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. That's really cool. That's really cool that you're here. Maybe I can invite you on if you want to come on. I'm not even sure how to do that. Hit the like button. There's 2 people in the chat. Wow, man, it's really, really cool to see you here. Thank you so much for being here. I'm breaking down the Street Fighter trailer if you haven't seen it yet. Now this here, to me, is a huge bug, or a huge goof, because this looks like the 1987 version of Ryu and Ken singing What's Going On. Wait, is it that song? That song didn't exist in 1987, so I feel like that's a big goof on their part. You're like the most famous person that's been on my chat, Mr. Web Dave. I always watch your shows every Sunday. You and the Iron Lords. But yeah, if you've seen the trailer, let me know what you think. And I'll try to share out this video, because I'm going to totally use you for... whoa, almost 9 people now? Holy shit. See, Web Dave shows up, and then everyone follows you. Here we see Dalsum doing his stretchy army thingy, so... But this... Oh yeah, yeah, the big reveal of Blanca. Everyone starts somewhere, my friend. Yeah, I've been doing these shows every Saturday as consistently as possible, just because the weekend is when I can do it. So yeah, it's really, really, really cool to see you in my chat. For real though, thanks so much for being here. But Dalsum with the stretchy arm thingy makes me think that that isn't really a superpower. He's like a yoga guy. So, I mean, yeah, people can't actually stretch their arm like that in real life. But just like in the games. But does that mean he can teleport? Will he, like, teleport behind Ken and be like, whoosh? I want to see this movie, too. Yeah, it looks good. The Mortal Kombat 2 movie looks good. I'm excited to see that. No worries for what? Here we see Bison fighting someone for the first time, but I feel like, I don't know. I don't know who he's hitting. Maybe that's Ken. But yeah, stick around. After this, I'm going to talk about the Resident Evil footage that just dropped on CinemaCon, but apparently there's no actual footage of it, which is unfortunate. So they probably just had the media not record it while they revealed it at CinemaCon. But here's this fight between Ryu and Akuma, which they're just fighting in a random empty arena. Whoa, I'm up to 10. Though I'm not going to lie, some of those viewers are me, so. But here's the big reveal of Momoa as Blanca, and yeah, I'm on the fence about this one because I really don't think the fully CGI version of Blanca was a good idea. But it almost feels like a lose-lose. Like if they just went with Momoa painted green, it would look silly. They go with a CGI Blanca, it'll look silly. So I don't really know. This feels like a complete lose-lose situation to me. I'm not gonna lie, I just took a picture of my chat just to show off that you're in it. I could invite you on if you want, but I don't know how to invite people if you want to come on. That would be so cool. I have no idea how to do it in a Streamlabs. I don't know how to do it. But what do you think of Blanca? Like, he looks kind of dumb. Fully CGI Blanca is just a bad idea. I mean, no matter how good CGI is now, it still looks like someone. Like a... Cool, I'm hanging and watching this thing and working on topics. Yeah, I'm like... Every show I want to just do adaptation news, but sometimes I always want to do a solid 2 hours. But I run out of adaptation news. There's rarely enough just adaptation news to fill out an entire 2-hour show. But yeah, you got any topics, tips that I could get into? Because after this, I'm talking about the Resident Evil, and then I'm going to talk about the Bloodborne animated show or movie or whatever it is.
I'm positive that a fireball came out of...
That line kind of cracks me up. I don't know. I can't join at the moment. Don't lie. Don't make promises you can't keep, Mr. Dave. Truly, though, I really, really appreciate you being here. It's so cool that you are. I don't know how you found me, but I'd love to know how people who don't know my channel find me. What's that guy's name? Cody something. Also, let me know if it's too loud, because I have my balcony right there and the door's open, but I like keeping it open because I like the air. I don't like feeling stuffy and whatever. The Hadouken sounds dumb. He's like, Hadouken! Like they're already using the voices straight from the games, like the you win and perfect. But why is Hadouken like Hadouken? But this is Ryu flaming up Ken, and this feels like a moment where Ken is like, you need to beat me, so then Ryu can fight Bison and not save the world. I don't know. Like whatever the conspiracy is that they need to go there for, I don't know, but yeah. So there's my breakdown of the trailer, which I'm already working on anyways. So there isn't a whole lot more I can say about that. But yeah, Mortal. So yeah, that's two of the biggest gaming franchise, but fighting game franchises probably ever. Arguably, both have movies coming out this year. So I mean, the MK2 they moved. It was supposed MK2 was supposed to come out around October of last year, and then they decided to push it to May, which is kind of an insanely long push to push it that far ahead. But I wonder if they decided to do it to compete against Street Fighter, or the fact that it's MK2 is May 8th, which May is basically the beginning of everything. Sounds good. Yeah, if you could share out this live on your posts, because I'm gonna shamelessly use anyone I can. I'm basically gonna be like P Lump, but way less annoying, and always on crack. But I've decided to be shameless about me getting views and eyes instead of trying to be all like Phil and being all like, oh, I don't want to use anyone for their subs, but now I do. But I just won't backstab anyone for helping me out. Big shout out to Ray Ray for helping me out. I don't know if he's live right now, but usually he does a show on Saturdays. Nah, Blue's live. Blue's playing Replace, but I was watching a bit of that earlier. But anyways, let's transition over to the Resident Evil footage, which just dropped at CinemaCon. And this is news to me. I looked around online. I couldn't find any actual footage at all. So I guess they're just not going to show that, or they're doing a whatever the word is out, NDA media blackout. I don't know. Posted to X. Woo, X. Yeah, I'm not on X. X is just like way too toxic for me. I barely used it in the first place, and then once Elon took it over, I was like, yeah, I'm out. I don't want to support anything that fucker does. Resident Evil shows off bloody new footage from weapons director Zach Krager at CinemaCon 2026. Ray Ray is the best. I don't even know the guy, and he just helped me out, helping me get subs, sharing out things, like just out of the goodness of his heart, really. There was no other reason to do it. He doesn't know me from Adam, and he just helped me out. I was a mod on his channel for a bit. I don't know if I am anymore, but so yeah, this is coming out this year too, which I thought it was coming out next year, but that's pretty impressive. That's 3 adaptation movies coming out this year that I can at least think of at the top of my head. I could be wrong. There could be more. Resident Evil is blasting back into theaters this summer. No, it's not. I guess if you count September summer, I don't know. I guess technically September 18th is still summer. I don't know. Once September hits for me, I just say summer's over. Its Sony CinemaCon presentation showed off the first footage from the latest installment of the horror hit franchise. Weapons filmmaker Zach Krager, who's helming the new reboot movie based on the beloved series, took the stage at Caesar's Palace. I would love to be able to find this footage, but again, I don't think it exists. He took the stage at Caesar's Palace on Las Vegas, to debut the first look at the gnarly zombie project. The teaser opened with the protagonist played by Austin Abrams, who previously worked with Krager on Weapons. I thought Weapons was overrated. The story was kind of dumb to me. It didn't really make sense, but it was really cool that the lady in it won an Oscar, though. I think she won an Oscar? Best Supporting? So, yeah, Austin Abrams walking through the snow and knocking on the door of a house. No one responds. He walks into the building. So he walks in and just says out loud to nobody, I had a bit of a problem on the road. Wonder if I could use your phone? Right, because when no one answers the door you knock on, you have to walk in. Like, why wouldn't you? I mean, forget that there could be someone behind the door with an axe ready to chop your face off, but whatevs. He picks up a landline phone and begins the conversation with a loved one. Hey babe, look, I'm really sorry that we got disconnected earlier, but some things have happened. I'm not too familiar with this guy as an actor. The teaser that then cuts to Abram's character frantically running, slamming barn doors, and brandishing a shotgun. I'm in, like, seriously a fed up situation. I wonder what that word is. Jeez, I don't know. He says before trying to grab car keys off a dead body that sinisterly crawls away from him. Huh? So the body's not dead. What are you talking about? Later, we see quick flashes of several haunting images. Well, X is the help. Yeah, I mean, when I was on X, iHeartRadio. Jesus, who the fuck still uses that? Yeah, I'm not on Facebook anymore. I was, but somebody hacked my account and got me banned, and I don't know how to get back on there. But X, I actually had the most followers on my X account. It was over 1,000, but I was just like, no, my integrity is stronger than my desire. And I barely use X anyways. Yeah, I don't know. X is just like every time I watch someone, like when you guys or someone on a show, and it's like, I was on X and some guy messaged me and said he wants to kill me because he doesn't like my opinion. Like, that shit is just completely beyond me and psychotic. Later, we see quick flashes of several haunting images, including a bloated zombie lurking in the sewer, a flipped police car, zombies jumping off buildings and crashing into parked cars. Krieger described his fascination with the Resident Evil game before introducing the footage. Over the last couple of decades, I have played a shitload of Resident Evil. I have an embarrassing amount of hours in these games. Don't be embarrassed. Don't ever be embarrassed about how much you game. Because if that was true, I'd be embarrassed as fuck all the time. I love the atmosphere. I love the pacing. I love the resource management. I love the dread. It's just so naturally cinematic. Yeah, Auntie Gladys. That's who that actress played, and she won an Oscar. And she wasn't in it for that long. She was in that for maybe like 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm on Blue Sky. I don't know how you use iHeartRadio to get subs. I didn't even know iHeartRadio still existed. I'm only really on YouTube. I have Blue Sky, but all I do is share on it, but no one follows me on there anyways. The Barbarian filmmaker said he was somewhat intimidated by taking on the series. When I decided to throw my hat in the ring to make a movie out of what absolutely the gold standard of survival horror, I knew I had some big shoes to fill. Unlike my last two films, there's not going to be any narrative acrobatics. He continued. You're not going to be locked in with one protagonist on a foot journey from point A to point B. Krieger previously told Entertainment Weekly that his Resident Evil would be an entirely original story, inspired by the games. When you watch it, you'll be like, this is very Zack. Dude, you haven't directed enough movies to be all like, this is super Zack. He also directed Barbarian, which, if you saw that, I like that more than Weapons. I thought Barbarian was a better movie with Justin Long. It's just that it's going to take place in the Resident Evil war. I don't think fans are going to be bummed. The Resident Evil game series launched in 1996. Paul W.S. Anderson adapted the games into the first film based on the franchise in 2002. His future wife, I forgot they got married, Mila Jovovich, aka one of the worst actresses in the history of film. He wrote 2004 Resident Evil Apocalypse, 2007 Resident Evil Extinction, handing directorial reins to Alexander Witt and Russell Mulcahy. I don't know. before returning to direct 3 more installments. I'm surprised at how many Resident Evil movies there are, and yet it still kind of seems like none of them were really all that good. Like, this could be the one that's finally, like, really good. Coffee grinds in my coffee. But yeah, Dave, once again, thanks for being here. If you're not around anymore, that's doesn't matter. Super, super appreciate the fact you're even just here for 2 seconds. And thanks for sharing out to all your followers. I appreciate that a big time. The film series was rebooted in 2021 with Resident Evil's Welcome to Raccoon City, directed by Johan Roberts. The following year, Netflix released an 8-episode series from Supernatural alum Andrew Dabb. And that was the one that was so god awful I didn't even finish watching it. It was atrociously bad. But on YouTube, I could not find any footage, but I found people describing the footage. So let's take a look at what they got to say. This is Joe Blow Horror. Fury Road is like one of the best action movies ever made. So what do you mean? The sound doesn't work? I can hear the sound. Fury Road is like one of the best action movies. Yeah, I have it. I don't know if my sound sounds fine. I have it playing on my actual YouTube separately to see how it looks and make sure it's running okay. But are you saying you can't hear anything? I was muted for a second.
A person that would play Resident Evil, and I think what they're doing is the
Fuck, why is there no sound? I don't know how to fix that. Window capture? Fuck, why is there no sound? I don't know how to fix that. Window
Like he said in his introduction, he just wants it to be it's a player going from one point A.
Maybe I do I have it muted over here or something?
A to point B and a straight line, and he said that unlike his other movies, there's going to be no weird narrative convention, so it's going to be very straightforward. It's not going to be barbarian. It's not going to...
That might have been what it was. I don't know if that fixed it, but I had it muted in Streamlabs. Does that mean the entire fucking time I was talking about Resident Evil there was no sound? Is there sound now? Oh, fuck. I'm still trying to figure this shit out. I still don't get Streamlabs. Speakers. I had it muted inside of Streamlabs.
Going to be weapons. It's going to be a straightforward thing.
But now there's an echo and I don't know why.
And also, this character has to assemble things to survive, right? So you see him in the trailer getting a shotgun, getting shells. He has limited supplies, right, to kind of survive the night with.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's going for the feeling. I think that's the most important thing. We've had, I think, the closest to authentic adaptations, and they never worked. He's going for tone. Tonally, the trailer we saw, I was down.
Yeah, it looks very propulsive. I think it's probably going to be short, probably just going to be like a 90-minute type movie, and I think it's going to be one of those things that's going to be a real roller coaster ride. I think it's going to be very, very different from his other movies, but I think it's going to be really exciting. So I am very much down with what he's doing with Resident.
I keep muting myself. Ugh. That's so annoying. Every time you guys do it on your shows, I'm like, oh damn, I'm muted. I was like, I get so annoyed. I was like, oh, I'll never do that. Now here I am doing the exact same thing, fucking muting myself and then forgetting to unmute. So basic.
Evil.
Yeah, this would probably be the best adaptation, and it's going to be the least authentic, which is ironic.
I mean, it has to be. I mean, again, that Netflix show. Does anybody even remember it now? But anyway, the whole Resident Evil mythology, I mean, it works as a video game, but, you know, what always works as video games don't necessarily work as movies. They also showed some footage from the new Insidious movie.
Yeah. Listen, can I be honest? Insidious is not my bag per se, but there's an audience, and I think this movie, outside of, I think, some issues with the lead actress, I think this is exactly...
Well, you didn't like the lead actress is English, and she was on The Hunting of Bly Manor, and she's doing...
You got my microphone over in Streamlabs in the mixer section, speakers, webcam capture, window capture, and one of these is what's making it echo a little.
No, I mean, it's not...
The trailer is online, so you can judge for yourself. Maybe he's being a little too harsh.
It's not quite Dick Van Dyke doing the British accent, but I tapped you right in the shoulder. I was like, something's wrong.
Yeah, something's off.
It seems fine. Like
What does he mean, Dick Van Dyke? Like, is he talking about Mary Poppins? I thought he was American in that movie. I thought that movie took place in America. The original one with Julia Andrews.
It had this jump scary,
Brought Lynn and Shay back,
which is smart because I think
through a medium.
You need that. You need Lynn Shay is kind of like the probably the best part about the trailer, and honestly, I think killing her off was a mistake. But you know what? They'll bring her back. I think it's gonna be fine if you're a fan of the series, but it is playing the game you've played before. Jump scares.
Yeah, a lot of cheap jump scares.
Yeah, so but that's what Sinister is, though. This is a kind of meat and potatoes thing for a certain generation. So
I thought it was Insidious. It sounded like you said Sinister.
So it's not for me, but it looks like it's delivering on what people like. I mean, if you're this deep into this many movies, You know what you're getting.
It honestly looks like the kind of movie that I probably wouldn't go see in theaters. You know, I've missed a couple of Insidious movies. I really liked the first one. I saw it at TIFF at the world premiere, actually. But then the other ones have all kind of left me cold. And this...
TIFF, meaning Toronto International Film Festival, which I'd love to go to one time.
Doesn't seem like the kind of continuation of the franchise that, you know, when I saw footage from the new Final Destination last year, I was like, oh wow, this is gonna be great. And I hadn't seen any of the Final Destination movies besides the first one, yet what I saw got me back into theaters to watch Bloodlines, and I loved it, you know?
It was fun, very fun.
So, and this is not gonna be that kind of thing. I think it'll play to the fans, but I think that's about it.
It's for a very specific crowd. It's not for us. It's playing this very similar song. This is using the major chords. You know you're gonna get, and you know we'll see what it's gonna do, but it's not gonna.
Very PG-13 horror.
Not gonna change the game.
Anyway, besides that, there was a lot of other footage, and you can go over to Joe Blue Movie Network.
Thank you, Dave, so much for being here. Truly, just seeing you in my chat is like super cool. Like, I really dig your shows, and you and Hargeet, and the you're not gonna watch the replay. It's okay, you don't have to lie. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, man. Really.
And you could go on that channel and you can see all of my rundown of the rest of the Sony panel, which included footage from The Social Reckoning, and of course certain Mr. Spider-Man. Lots of information from that. So go check it out, and of course we'll be back with plenty more from CinemaCon as the week goes on.
Okay. Well, until next time, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
That wasn't so much of a reaction. Like, there's people who described it better. That was just kind of them talking about it. Wait, does this one have footage of a...
Warner Brothers just held their CinemaCon panel for 2026, and I gotta be honest, it was kind of a lackluster...
Oh, it had some
Not an
Mortal
Evil
Kombat
Dead burn.
footage.
Next up, Mortal Kombat 2 was given a spotlight. This film is quickly approaching, and we have a lot of cool popcorn buckets coming out. And well, this will actually be one of those lucky times where they showed a clip I got to see. Last year, I got invited by Warner Brothers to go to New York Comic Con, where they had the Mortal Kombat 2 panel, and the clip that they showed at New York Comic Con was the same clip that they showed to attendees. The clip basically revolves around Carl Urban as Johnny Cage about to have his first ever fight against Baraka in what appears to be his home world, where Johnny Cage is just not feeling confident enough to fight somebody with giant teeth and spikes coming out of their hands. It's a very comedic clip where at one point Johnny Cage is just being chased by Baraka and he runs into a tent with tiny little baby Barakas. But once Johnny Cage is pinned to a corner, he then remembers all the fight choreography from the movies he's done and uses that fight choreography to actually stand a chance against Baraka. One of those fight moves including the split, where he punched...
Damn right. They better be in it. I was like, yeah, if that's not in this movie, then fuck the movie forever. If you have Johnny Cage in a Mortal Kombat movie, he has to do the split punch. It's just a rule.
Just Baraka right in the goons. It has a goofy comedic vibe.
That's the first time I've heard anyone describe that scene. I didn't even hear about... They previewed the scene. When did he say he saw that?
That 2 panel, and the clip that they showed at New York Comic Con was the
New York Comic Con.
same clip that they showed to attendees. The clip basically revolves around Carl Urban and uses that fight core. It has a goofy comedic vibe, but I think to some diehard Mortal Kombat fans, they're gonna find it extremely silly and the wrong tone for this series. But I think that's honestly the best way to go.
Damn.
See who she is. As far as footage that did get...
They did a Clayface, like, just because it happens to be in this list. So I thought they were going to talk about Resident Evil. Actually, this is just Warner. Okay, so I guess it's by studio, but Clayface, I would like to see that trailer.
As far as footage that did get to be shown, they started off with Clayface. Thanks to discussing films, we have your description of the footage. The teaser is relatively straightforward, opening on the titular Clayface, also known as Matt Hagen, covered in a face bandage, lying paralyzed in a hospital room, presumably after a horrifying accident. a slowed down and eerie rendition of Do You Realize by Flaming Lips plays as camera zooms into Matt's face. We're shown flashes of his life as an actor in a modernized neon-lit Gotham City. We see snippets of Matt toying with a mysterious scientific experiment with clay, assuming to make his return to acting following his accident. The teaser ends with Matt lying in a bathtub, touching and wiping off his face, which turns into a terrifying swirl of clay before it cuts to the clay-faced title card. Okay, that sounds interesting. I'm honestly more curious to see what this Gotham looks like, because that's kind of our first look at DCU Gotham.
That's cool, because I think Clayface is actually my favorite Batman villain. He's just such a cool villain, and I loved him in the animated series. And yeah, there's not enough Clayface of him, and I don't know. This is the exact same like text or font and bat image from the spectacular Robert Pattinson Batman that came out in 2022. So are they saying that these worlds are connected with this?
People also did want to point out that the title and logo,
literally what I just said,
for Clayface was red, and that just sparked up more theories about the merger and whether this is set in the Robert Pattinson universe.
I hope it is, because what the new Batman version is like just perfect. I love the neo-noir Batman detective style. I absolutely love the latest Batman movie. I think it's spectacular, and I'm glad that these are connected, because that means it's going to have that same noir grittiness.
While I'm kind of done believing those theories, for marketing purposes, they know exactly what they're doing.
Oh, that's really cool in the background. I love that. See, now this is turning into a movie thing, but I'm just trying to find RE stuff, but I really wanted to see more of Clayface. But I love this. This is the Turtles from the 1990 absolute classic. Damn, he's got that creepy guy from those movies. Who's that, Sandman? Interesting. So yeah. Anyways, I was trying to find the Resident Evil footage. Or all Sony announcements. I think Resident Evil would be in that. It's the same guy.
Insidious movie.
Yeah, it is. I'll subscribe to him. He seems like he has a good channel. Here, where is it? Here we go.
Insidious movie. From there, Zach Kreger, who just recently directed Weapons and is now doing the new reboot for Resident Evil, got on stage to present and show a clip of the movie. Now, if you also haven't been keeping up with this Resident Evil movie, there is a lot of pushback from the diehard video game fans, because this movie isn't going to be based on any of the video games. It's instead an original story set within the Resident Evil world, where it'll follow one character played by Austin Abrams, who is fantastic in Weapons, and he's just someone that's trying to get from point A to point B, and it'll really highlight the survival aspect when playing a Resident Evil game. When looking at the description, thanks to Discussing Films, they have it here. Kreger then introduced an exclusive teaser for the film, which opens with a lone man, Austin Abrams, walking into an abandoned house on a winter night. He then uses the house phone to leave a voicemail for his girlfriend, which is played over the rest of the teaser. Abrams' character explains that he has been on the run, and we are treated to images of him investigating dark houses, sewers, and running down a vacant street. The teaser holds back on showing too much horror imagery, but there is bloated naked creatures that watches Abrams in the sewers, as well as hands that emerge from the door of a dark house. The title card also uses the withered font from the Resident Evil titles. Kreger adds that the film will not have any fancy plot structure shifts that the films are known for, focusing instead on a linear adventure, but the footage proves that Kreger's claustrophobic and thrilling atmosphere is certainly here. And look, I get why video game fans would be upset, especially because the video games does have interesting angles, and just they haven't been able to nail that. I mean, the last Sony Resident Evil movie tried telling the story of the first two games, and it just didn't respond with audiences. I think having someone like a Zach Kreger, who is definitely an up-and-coming huge voice in horror, is just a good thing for your franchise. And there's already been reports of positive test screenings where they describe this movie as Mad Max Fury Road, but horror. And that makes sense, because that movie was all about a character going from point A to point B while doing crazy things along the way. So I'm excited for this. This sounds great. I can't wait to see this footage more. Next up, they got a sneak peek.
Oh, this one has... Oh, shit. It has Legend of Zelda stuff. Damn. Okay.
with what we see. Next up, they briefly touched upon the live-action Legend of Zelda movie. I was hoping we'd get some sort of scene description or concept art or more details, but really all they had to offer audiences is letting them know that the movie has now wrapped filming. So there really wasn't much to be shown or talked about, but it was just an update on the movie, and hey, I'm really looking forward to this. This will be a completely different Nintendo movie, especially with what's Illumination.
Well, that's news to me as well. Damn, I missed that. This is somewhat recent news, though, but yeah. So they actually mentioned, and Bloodborne. Okay, 2. Okay, 3. That's three other gaming things in there that I didn't even know were going to be there. But Sony, yeah, they're doing a lot more game adaptation stuff. So, but that's cool.
Has done with Super Mario. Love it or hate it, that's more of a comedic and child-friendly interpretation of that property. And Legend of Zelda seems to be going more serious. And I do like director Westfall, so I'm curious about that. I just wish we would have got a better update. Next up, something kind of surprising. It got revealed that Jacksepticeye, the YouTuber, is helping make a Bloodborne movie for Sony that will be R-rated and an animated film. Now, Jacksepticeye is only producing this movie. Don't think he's directing or even starring in the movie, but this kind of makes
I don't know who that guy is. Septiceye?
sense, man. After the huge success Markiplier had with his Iron Lung movie, I think more studios are willing to look at other huge profile name YouTubers with large audiences. Not your boy 3C, but hey, subscribe and help me get there, right? We'll make Goonin the movie. So it's cool to have his name attached, and I think it just adds to the credibility that this will be for the video game fans. If you don't know about Bloodborne, it is a Lovecraftian RPG where you play as a hunter navigating Yarnham, a Victorian city ruined by a bloodborne disease that transforms inhabitants into beasts. Honestly, out of all this, the most exciting part is that it'll be an R-rated animated movie. So many times now we have an R-rated animated film that is just finding out how to overly sexualize it and creep you out, whether that's Sausage Party, Fixed, or Spermageddon. Something like this, so, will take advantage of the violent, bloody a sausage bang a bagel. Next up, we had director Justin Lin take to the stage to talk a little bit about his Helldivers movie. This is also based on the video game. Justin Lin described it as a phenomenon that balances satire with humanity. He also was quoted by saying, "The only person I think that could pull this off is Jason Momoa, who is starring in the movie." If you don't know about Helldivers, it is a lot like Starship Troopers, where you play this soldier that's just kind of dumped on a planet where there's a bunch of bug creatures and you're just destroying them and not really being told why or for what reason. You just know a corporation is telling you to do it, so you do it. I actually kind of like the idea of satire with humanity. I just hope it doesn't lean too much into the comedy, but the game does have a sense of humor and pokes fun at corporations, so I like the direction Justin Lin is headed in. Sony Pictures then also showed off their new animated movie, Buds, which is basically Toy Story for plants. It's gonna revolve.
So yeah, just like that, as I was trying to just find Resident Evil information, that same little trailer had live. It's a bit of Zelda, Bloodborne, and Helldivers. Ooh, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Oh, that's the animated one? I'd rather the live action one.
Gonna top the Andrew Garfield scene. From there, Sony moved on to something really exciting, and that is a presentation on Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Phil Lord and Chris Miller were in attendance, and they got to show audiences the opening of the movie with some unfinished animation. Before that, though, we did get revealed 4 photos online to the public, and really just thank you, Sony. Not all of us can attend CinemaCon, and I think Sony had a good balance of releasing stuff online and exclusive stuff for attendees. So looking at the 4 photos revealed first before talking about the opening scene, we have one of Miles with his dad. This is a very emotional, nice photo, and this is the basis of the movie. Miles trying to figure out how to stop his cannon event and save his father. We get, of course, a look at Miguel O'Hara trying to stop Miles. Already loving this animation style. It is said that Miguel will have his own team of Spider spider people trying to hunt down Miles. We get a look at Spider-Punk with the words saying, "Gonna save your dad," obviously because he's on Miles' side, and Spider-Punk was a standout last time, so I'm glad to see more of him. And then the alternate universe look at Miles' dad and his uncle, the Prowler. Or this could possibly be a flashback scene and not necessarily an alternate universe look at them. It's really the haircut that's throwing me off. Going into the description, though, of the opening scene and footage, thanks to Discussing Films, they have it here. The footage picks up right at the end of Across the Spider-Verse, with Miles confronted by his alternate self, who is the Prowler. Miles and Miles share some banter, namely Prowler Miles giving our protagonist Miles grief for his pronunciation of his last name. As Miles tries to explain to his counterpart canon events and his situation, Prowler Miles and the alternate Aaron Davis don't seem too impressed. Miles then activates his lightning powers to break free. The footage launches into an explosive sizzle reel. Enticing images show Aaron and Miles' father in the past committing crime activities in a letterbox retro look aesthetic, indicating the movie will explore their or their alternate selves' history together. Other striking images include Gwen Stacy crossing an interdimensional bridge, a series of various Spider-Men going through neon cityscapes, Spider-Man 2099 standing in front of several giant portals opening up, an utterly terrifying shot of a much more sinister The Spot saying, "I just wanted to be taken seriously," as he drains the life out of everything around him. It's also said that the Kingpin is going to be showing back up for this story. Another interesting detail they added on is the movie will be made for a 1.43.1 aspect ratio, so it can be seen beautifully on the largest IMAX screens, and since there's more vertical view, it's also the TikTok-friendly way to show the movie, because nowadays that's how a lot of things get marketed, is in that vertical aspect. And I feel like that's a low-key reason why movies do this, but they get to, say it's IMAX ratio. It's not so our TikTok trailer will actually make sense. Either way, Beyond the Spider-Verse sounds awesome. I really wasn't expecting much of an update.
The last Spider-Verse movie was okay. The 2018 one was spectacular. I love that one, but the most recent one was a little bit too long, I thought. And just unnecessarily long. But, car alarm, if you can hear that. Oh, brand new day footage. I was looking for that too.
Spider-Verse, but right away they jumped into talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day, starting off with revealing us 2 brand new posters. I am so glad Sony at least released this online. As you guys know, CinemaCon is always up and down, but mainly they're very strict about videotaping and photos. But oh my goodness, looking at these 2 posters, I don't know if you guys remember the Spider-Man No Way Home era, but we were starving in good posters. I know once they all officially got released, we maybe got 2 good posters, but it was just trash poster after trash poster. These 2 first posters I will hang up on my wall. I like the one of Spidey fighting off the hand and the ninjas. That looks cool, but it's really this close-up mask shot with a reflection of Zendaya's MJ, and that's gives me classic Toby vibes, a lot like with his close-up mask posters, but man is it a gorgeous one, and I'm glad we are not repeating the curse from Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, Tom Holland wasn't physically there, but he did show up via video, describing how this Spider-Man movie is the most grown-up Spider-Man film. We recently, in a different marketing campaign, had him say that this is his favorite Spider-Man movie, with a more full comment saying Peter had to make sacrifices that made all his friends forget who he was. So now you'll see some of the consequences of that choice in this scene. And we got a description of that scene thanks to new rock stars who were there, and they have it here. It begins with Peter seeing Ned in the bodega. Peter hangs up from the phone and watches Ned buy 2 mini kegs of Green Jackal beer. Hint, hint. Peter follows Ned across the street into an apartment. In the party, no one knows who Peter is, but a stranger gives him a beer cup.
So Peter just walks into this random house, like for real. Like he doesn't know them, so he just walks in. Okay.
Goes into Ned's room and finds Chewbacca Lego figurine. On Ned's research wall, there are headlines about a parkour prodigy and a skyscraper squatter arrested for the 8th time. Peter meets Ned, who tells him about a spider tracker app that he invented to help track down the identity of Spider-Man. Ned says he narrowed it down to 2 people, Flash Thompson or Mr. Harrington, their teacher. Then Zendaya and MJ come in and make her friendly neighborhood comment that we see in the trailer. We find out that MJ has a new boyfriend, played by Emin Esfandi. Peter sadly watches them kiss. Ned asks MJ about a job she interviewed for. She got the job, but turned it down. A soulless corporation. Oscorp hint? Oh my goodness. Okay, real quick. I love this scene, and it shows you the tragedy and the consequences of Peter's actions, something that some fans feel was needed more in the previous trilogy. But this is what we theorized with that first trailer. Ned and MJ look like they want to remember Spider-Man, or they feel this familiar connection with them, and part of that is them trying to discover Spider-Man's identity. It is hilarious that Ned thinks it's either Flash Thompson or their old teacher, but to me the most devastating part is hearing that MJ kisses her boyfriend in front of Peter. Oh, dude. And that last line about MJ possibly working for a soulless corporation. Is it Oscorp? We found out in No Way Home. Oscorp doesn't exist in the MCU right now, so if it is, it's a startup, and MJ would be one of the first employees. The clip also ended with a little montage of Spider-Man about to fight the soldiers of damage control, and he starts stretching and starts to quip, "Hold on, I'm not in high school anymore." Love it. I feel like that is another aspect of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. He doesn't quip as much as other ones, but that quip alone makes me giggle and look forward to what other quips he has in the movie. Next up, we actually did get something released online, and
So yeah, I just watched that because, you know, I'm looking forward to the next Spider-Man live action. I actually really love No Way Home. Arguably the best Spider-Man movie ever. If you could look at it, I still think the first Toby is pretty good. The first two Tobys are pretty awesome, but No Way Home is like spectacular. So that seems to be everything I could find about Resident Evil, which I was just looking up. Actually, see if I look more into the live action Zelda news. CinemaCon. I'll type in CinemaCon. So this is news. This is something that I should know, but I didn't. So I'm glad I found it, so I can do a proper video after. But the live action Zelda is officially wrapped, although most of the focus has been on the Mario Galaxy. We've got some big news today about the Zelda film. I like to paraphrase instead of reading the full thing. According to an update at CinemaCon, Sony has announced filming for the new movie is officially wrapped. This follows an update in November last year when it was confirmed the movie was in production in New Zealand. Right, so it's just doing the whole using New Zealand as a backdrop, which works, which makes sense. The Zelda movie is currently scheduled for a global release on May 2027. Nintendo is co-funding the movie along Sunday. Nintendo's Shigeru Miyamoto has worked with producer Avi Arad on the film and Wes Ball as the director. So yeah, Shigeru was involved in the Mario movies, so him being involved definitely helps with the quality. How old is that article? I should read that after. Nintendo hasn't revealed much about exactly what to expect. Oh, I didn't know it was coming to Netflix. The film will also be streamed exclusively on Netflix following its theatrical and home entertainment release windows. Huh? Nintendo hasn't revealed much about what to expect just yet or share any official trailers, but Miyamoto previously confirmed Link will be played by Benjamin Evan Ainsworth and Zelda by Bo Braggerson. We already knew that. And the leaked footage, which I've already looked at. That was from November of last year. So that's pretty cool that two, three pieces of news have popped up. I'll see what they got to say for Bloodborne. CinemaCon attached to it. I'm starting to forget that I'm still online. I'm just like randomly recording myself as I talk. I'll look at the Variety article. Variety Key is like a very official feeling. Bloodborne game adaptation getting R-rated animated movie adaptation from Sony. PlayStation's Bloodborne minigame is being developed into an R-rated animated feature for Sony Pictures. I didn't actually know it was animated until today. I knew they were doing something, but I thought it was live action. The studio says will embrace the carnage that made the game so popular. Sanford Penninch, president of Sony Pictures Entertainment, promised during the studio's CinemaCon presentation that the long-rumored film will be very true to the gory spirit of Bloodborne, which follows a traveler who journeys into a gothic city full of nightmarish creatures. Shannon Elizabeth is on OnlyFans now? Okay, that's interesting. Bloodborne was developed by From Software, published by Sony, which shared a parent company with Sony Pictures and PlayStation. The film, co-produced by PlayStation Productions, Lyrical Animation, creator and gamer Sean McLaughlin, better known as the pseudonym Jack Septic Eye. So he's involved simply because he plays the game so much. He's a gamer who spent years in the world of Bloodborne, where his digital adventures are tracked by 48 million online fans. Okay. So he's involved just because of how much he's played the game and he's popular from it, I guess. The film is the latest in a string of game adaptations. Sony Pictures and recently announced the adaptation of Helldivers by Justin Lin, starring Jason Momoa. CinemaCon. Helldivers is also CinemaCon news. What do they got for that? Helldivers, CinemaCon. Is there an article just for the Helldivers version, or is it? No. This was like the same days, a couple days ago. This is from Geeky Tyrant. The upcoming live-action adaptation, Helldivers, is finally starting to feel real. After sitting in that development zone for a while, the project just got a meaningful push forward thanks to a new update from director Justin Lin. With Jason Momoa set to lead the charge, things are lining up for what could be a wild sci-fi packed with humor, action, and a bit of bite. Lin shared the update during CinemaCon, and while it wasn't a massive info dump, it revealed something fans have been hoping to hear. He recently made a trip to Sweden to meet with the team at Arrowhead Game Studios, the developers behind the original Helldivers. That kind of collaboration usually means the filmmakers are putting real effort into capturing what made the source material click. Yes, that's the new hotness. That connection matters because Helldivers isn't just another sci-fi shooter. The franchise built its reputation on chaotic co-op gameplay. Over-the-top action and a sharp sense of satire aimed at war and blind patriotism. Yeah, it's basically just like Starship Troopers. Production is also gearing up to shift to a new phase. Lin confirmed that filming will be heading to New Zealand again, and everyone's going to New Zealand. It might not just be the way it looks, but it could be for tax reasons. Usually a sign that things are moving past early prep. A theatrical release set for November 10th, 2027. As for what kind of story we're getting, Lin made it clear the film won't just lean on explosions and spectacle. I'm almost at 2 hours, and I'm still going. There's a balance he's aiming for, blending satire with something more grounded and human. That's where Momoa comes in. He'll be playing a rebellious soldier battling alien threats, and Lin seems fully confident he's got the right guy for the job. Helldivers balances satire with humanity, and the only person who I think can pull this off is Mason Jojoa. Wonder if highlighting a blue like this makes it look better. That mix of personality and presence is exactly what Momoa tends to bring to his roles. You can be intense and imposing in 1 minute and then flip into something more playful the next. For a story that needs both humor and emotional weight, that range could be key. Right now, Helldivers has a solid foundation. You got a director who knows how to handle large-scale action with Justin Lin, a lead actor with serious screen presence with Momoa, and direct input from the devs. Doesn't guarantee success, but it's promising. I guess this article says basically the same thing, just in like 2 parts. So this part we've already read, basically. Producing the film are Hutch Parker, PlayStation Productions, Assad Kizilbash, okay, and Lin through his Perfect Storm Entertainment banner. Sony and PlayStation Productions have built a solid track record adapting game adaptations. Their collaboration on Uncharted starring Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg pulled in 407 globally and ranks among the top 10 game adaptations. Yeah, despite how terrible it was. That's funny. I wouldn't say terrible. That's it's a bit over the top. This also teamed up for Peacock's Twisted Metal, which is also an underrated show. Watch that show. HBO's acclaimed Last of Us, well, the first season is, which raised the bar for what these adaptations could be. It definitely did. From Momoa, Helldivers is just one more title in an absolutely packed slate. It recently revealed that he'll play the intergalactic bounty hunter Lobo, which is cool. I like Lobo, and Momoa has been like lobbying for that role for years. I think he even like put out AI pictures or something of him looking like Lobo, and he pretty much nails the part. I'd watch the movie just to see him in it, but the movie itself doesn't interest me. But seeing him as Lobo would be sweet. I would watch it just for that. He currently stars opposite Batista in that's on Prime, and he's also going to be in Street Fighter. He's in Minecraft, so that's 3 different game adaptations that he's in. He and Jack Black are now competing for like who can be in the most game adaptations. I still think Jack Black is winning. But that seems to be those 3 new stories that just popped up just by luck. But I think I already read some more about Bloodborne, but wait, didn't I just read that on Variety and I already forgot? I think I did. Variety. Yeah. So this article is the same thing, but does it say anything different? Yeah. They just got it from the Variety report that I read, and I always want to go with Variety because they're one of the most official, well-known, popular sites. Well, I never finished reading the Variety article. Once it goes past the part where we already know they're making these movies, it mentions here at the bottom, video game adaptations have become a huge source of box office revenue. Recent films in the genre, such as the Minecraft and Super Mario Bros. Movie, among the highest grossing films of the post-COVID era. I didn't realize they have a post-COVID era name. Like, why does it matter if it's post-COVID? Maybe movie sales have just dropped in general after COVID. Lyrical Media, parent company of Lyrical Animation, is co-financing Bloodborne. With Sony Pictures, McLaughlin is repped by CAA, Nicole Ambrose, Hanson Jacobson, and 42 West. Well, is that the last piece of information I got there? Because I'm at just about exactly at 2 hours, which is sweet. And very cool that during my show, Web Dave showed up. That was so cool. Thanks so much for that, Dave, if you actually do listen to the replay. If you do, that's cool. But I don't believe that you actually will. Not in a mean way. Hey, that blue number's still on. Well, pretty decent show. Lots of stories to report on. Very cool at CinemaCon. A bunch of new information just dropped, so look out. I'm gonna make a video about that. Even though I just covered it, I'm still gonna make a video. Maybe I'll just do it on all the CinemaCon happenings in one little video. Yeah, I'll do that. Well, that's it for episode 13 of Tgan Live. Thanks everyone for being here. Big shout out to Web Dave for being here. Very cool. Thanks for watching, all my peeps. Tgan out.
got it. Oh, shoot. Ooh. Okay. There we go. Thanks, guy. Appreciate it.